We are undeterred,
No.
streaming live from Rumble
And on the backup channel
and on our backup YouTube channel because YouTube has so kindly banished us to timeout once
yeah,
again
for a week.
because they are disgusting technocrats they're technocrats. So we thoroughly hate YouTube,
That's true.
but hence we're on Rumble streaming live. So
Yeah,
thanks y'all for
exactly.
hanging out tonight. And we just wanted to jump on here real quick and cover some clown world news here. It seems very bizarre, but in a postmodern, post-truth world, this is obviously news, and this is how it rolls. So this is coming to you from Yahoo News, y'all.
Hmm.
Yahoo News. And the name of the article: Ohio law enforcement links Erin Brockovich to potential for special interest terrorism threat in East Palestine. The report
Whoa.
assesses the risk posed by Brockovich and activist groups in the wake of the Norfolk Southern train derailment. Now, the interesting thick irony with all of this is the whole entire initial act of what happened with the train and the corporatocracy deciding to blow it up.
Mm.
Whether you buy the official narrative or whether they were trying to cover something up, definitely was an act of domestic terrorism. So it's really interesting how they want to twist and throw some shade on this and then blame Erin Brockovich. This is some fascinating stuff. This is true gaslighting.
Yep. At its finest.
Ohio law enforcement issued a report late last month warning that events planned in East Palestine. Oh, what do you mean, like the cleanup and stuff like that? No, no, they stopped that.
No, no,
Not the
no.
cleanup. Not those events. No, no. They reported late last month warning that events planned in East Palestine by the environmental activist Erin Brockovich, who used to be the left Democratic darling, because she cares about the environment. She fights for, people that have been harmed by toxic spills and corporate pollution, which the Democrats and the Republicans both love the corporate pollution. I mean, look at the military-industrial complex. Look at depleted uranium sprinkled all over the Middle East. I mean,
Mm.
what's better than depleted uranium, right? And it's so lucrative. Erin Brockovich could prompt a terrorist threat from violent extremists, according to an intelligence bulletin obtained by Yahoo News. I like saying Yahoo because James Corbett always says Yahoo. So I know it's Yahoo. I just like saying Yahoo. I think it's funny.
Yeah, it's kind of funny.
Dated February 24th and distributed by two law enforcement agencies by the Department of Homeland Security. So we got the cat lickers there at the Homeland Security, the Ohio statewide terrorism analyst and crime center terrorism analyst unit situational awareness,
Oh my word.
which is the acronym is Saku Tao. You gotta love the mental gymnastics that the feds with their acronyms. Stack Tau report obtained by Yahoo News assesses that special interest extremist groups will continue to call for changes in governmental policy which may lead to protests in and around East Palestine and or at the State House in Columbus.
Hmm.
The report then singles out the reaction by Brockovich, a whistleblower. Oh, they're bad people now.
Oh,
Remember,
yeah.
remember, whistleblowers are bad now.
Yeah.
They are castigated and hated
Mm.
and maligned, i.e.,
Like
Julian Assange.
whistleblowers and conspiracy theorists, same thing.
Yeah, yeah.
You know.
Even when you're very thankful for the massive dumps, thank you, WikiLeaks, for the massive dumps, but I'm going to leave Julian Assange to rot in jail.
Oh man.
Because I'm thankful for his massive dumps so that we can lock her up.
Pretty much.
Okay, no more impressions. Okay.
Yeah.
The report singled out Brockovich, a whistleblower who helped build a successful lawsuit against the California utility company Pacific Gas and Electric in a case involving contaminated groundwater to the February 3rd train derailment and release of toxic chemicals in East Palestine. On 24th of February, environmental activist Erin Brockovich is scheduled to be in East Palestine to explain residents' legal rights. Oh, that would be terrible. What a terrorist. She's going to tell the residents what their legal rights are, and I mean, legal rights. What a notion.
I feel triggered.
Brockovich has urged, definitely sounds like a terroristic act.
Definitely.
Brockovich has urged the community to use common sense. Well, see, there you go. That's anti-government.
Whoa. Oh my goodness.
Common sense is definitely common sense in today's clown world, in postmodern, post-truth clown world. Common sense is definitely a terroristic act. It's an act of terrorism.
Definitely.
And ask questions. Another act of terrorism.
Yeah, asking,
if you are skeptical, or if you're skeptical, either one, and you ask questions, that is a definite terroristic act.
No, you need to shut up and go with the flow.
Brockovich is also placing blame solely on Norfolk Southern. The Stacked How assesses this event could potentially increase tensions within the community. Oh, the fact that Norfolk Southern blew up a gigantic Hiroshima-type toxic bomb that could maybe have literally polluted the entire Midwest. Like, that's not going to create increased tensions in the community.
Not at all.
Erin Brockovich asking people to use common sense and ask questions and letting them know what their legal rights are. That's going to create tension. Not the EPA stopping and halting the cleanup. That's not going to increase tensions. No. The report, a gaslight. This is a super gaslight. The report assesses the risk posted by Brockovich and other activist groups that have planned events in East Palestine in the wake of the Norfolk Southern train derailment and the controlled burn. Yeah, it was a controlled burn. It was a cataclysmic detonation.
Yeah.
A systematic destruction, if you will. Of vinyl chloride, a carcinogenic ingredient used in the production of plastic products after the derailment.
Ooh, yummy.
According to the FBI, special interest terrorism differs from traditional right-wing and left-wing terrorism in that extremist special interest groups seek to resolve specific issues. How terrible.
What in the world?
Rather than affect widespread political change, the report states. It's so interesting how our government, CIA, FBI, NSA, DHS, how they've been involved in all these color revolutions all around the world, you know, Cambridge Analytica, all this stuff. And now, you know, it's like, oh, this is different because they don't want to affect widespread political change. It's such a gaslight, it's such a control of the narrative, and it's such propaganda and just neuro-linguistic programming. It's such neuro-linguistic programming. Such extremists conduct acts of politically motivated violence.
What?
To force segments of society, including the general public, to change attitudes about issues considered important to the extremist cause. So obviously, you know, the people that live there, they're not concerned about this until these environmentalist extremists who were 10, 15, 20 years ago were the bastion of democracy, right? And why we have all these mentally insane windmills that don't work and all these solar panels everywhere, and everybody needs to drive an electric car because all that environmental extremism based upon, you know, hockey stick graphs that don't exist in reality and peak oil and all this other stuff. But now these exact and this is the Ouroboros that we always talk about, the loony left and the postmodern, post-truth lunatics. It will eat itself. So now The darlings become the devils, right? Brockovich, who was played by the actress Julia Roberts in the 2000 film named after her, was in East Palestine on Thursday afternoon to host an event. She did not immediately respond to Yahoo News request for comment. This situational awareness report is highly problematic, said former FBI agent Mike German, who worked on
He's
the
a German,
recent
all right.
Brennan Center report about issues with DHS fusion centers. These are the same guys that are they're going after Christians, they're going
Yep.
after conservative Catholics, and you're just drumming up and gaslighting all this domestic terrorism. Oh, you want clean drinking water? You're a domestic
How
terrorist.
dare you?
Oh, you want to grow your own food and you don't want it to have like vinyl pollution inside of it?
You don't want to die of a deadly cancer.
You are a terrorist. Yeah. Oh, you think that we genetically made something in a lab and then sprayed it on everybody? Yeah.
You terrorist.
Obviously, there is no reason to have included Erin Brockovich's name or a description of her advocacy in the law enforcement intelligence report, much less a situational awareness report by a state fusion center's terrorism analyst unit, German told Yahoo News. Almost all of the activity described in this report is rightly protected by the First Amendment and poses no threat of harm, and therefore should be of no interest to terrorism intelligence units. Contacted by Yahoo News, the Ohio Department of Public Safety denied that it issued a report identifying Brockovich as a possible terrorist threat. Erin Brockovich is listed as an environmental activist, and the brief mention of her falls under the heading of various individuals or groups who have responded to the train derailment. The Ohio Department of Public Safety, Jay Carey, told Yahoo News in an email, the fact that she is an environmental activist that has responded to the train derailment is factual. Oh, thanks. And has been well documented by media accounts. Any inference otherwise is incorrect. DHS posted the report on its intelligence sharing platform on February 28th, making it available to its more than 150,000 local, state, and federal police and other partners nationwide. Fusion centers are state and locally owned and operated centers that actively share, analyze, and operationalize threat-related information massively ineffectively. These fusion centers that track and flag and know where all these terrorists are and knew where the Boston bombers were and all the 9/11 guys and all the pre-9/11 with the first World Trade Center bombing, all these fusion centers that work so well together, that have all the information. Yeah, it's a stinking joke. They're terrible. But when it comes to pin the wrong person, they're great at operationalize threat-related information between federal, state, local, tribal, territorial, and private sector partners. It almost sounds like a corporatocracy. A DHS spokesperson said in an email statement to Yahoo News. DHS supports fusion centers through the presence of DHS personnel and information sharing technology, but DHS does not run or operate fusion centers. And I would call bull jive on that in the sense that if all the dudes there are DHS, you make it happen, Captain. The report also referred to it's always this plausible deniability. It's always circles within circles within circles. It's the Jesuits. It's the way they do it, because, no, we don't operate fusion centers. No, we'll just give the light more gas. The report also referred to the environmental group Earth Justice, which it stated called on Governor DeWine to declare a state of emergency.
Oh, good.
Could somebody please declare a state of emergency, pointing to the contaminated waterways and subsequent deaths of thousands of fish? Earth Justice works with communities across the country to protect people's health. That is a terrible thing. What a bunch of terrorists. Debbie Scheiswer, managing attorney for Earth Justice's Midwest Regional Office, told Yahoo News in East Palestine, Earth Justice is supporting partners that have been exposed to toxic chemicals as they call for much needed resources, monitoring cleanup of the contamination, as well as protections to prevent disasters like the explosion of a chemical carrying cargo train in the future. The report obtained by Yahoo News stated that East Palestine police and fire department officials reported having received threats, but had determined that they were not credible. It was not clear, however, why they were mentioned in the report. Wow, all these information agencies with completely wrong information. How about if you're an information agency and you always have the wrong information? I don't think we need that information agency. I think they can go away and we'll all be safer for it. This report should not have described any non-criminal activity, particularly after it stated that the Terrorism Analysis Unit is unaware of any credible direct threats regarding the East Palestine train derailment, German said. This flawed reporting only clogs our national intelligence networks with inappropriate materials that undermine effective counterterrorism and law enforcement analysis by overwhelming intelligence analysts with unhelpful misinformation that dulls the response to genuine threat warnings. And when you consider the fact of the panopticon, drag and drop, track and trace, AI, and all the things on TheMTube and everywhere else, all over InQtels, whatever, and then they want to claim like, oh, we got too much data and there's just too much confusion.
Yeah.
And we're all overpaid idiots. Former DHS acting Undersecretary John Cohen agreed that the inclusion of Brockovich's name was, as he put it, a bit problematic, and said that law enforcement needed to be more careful in describing what is and is not considered a threat. And the only saving grace that Erin Brockovich has is because of her notoriety. If it was some like homeschool mom or whatever, they would lock her in shackles upside down in her underwear in the town square and leave her there for the carrion crows to pluck out her eyes.
Yeah, literally.
When reporting on online or other activity that may be protected speech. Yeah. Oh, you mean like the protected speech on YouTube?
Yeah.
Yeah, so much for that lab leak theory. Authorities need to be very clear how that speech relates to threat-related activities or other public safety issues. Cohen told Yahoo News, it is fine to catalog what different people are saying. Oh, yeah, it's fine to create a database. But from a law enforcement perspective, they need to be clear where there is a nexus with the need for an operational response. So there you go, y'all.
Wow.
Erin Brockovich, she's not really a terrorist. It was an accident. We didn't mean to call her a terrorist. We didn't mean to call Earth Justice terrorist either. We made that mistake also. They made lots of mistakes, and we're sorry, but we're not sorry because it was an error, and we don't have to be sorry. It's it's a sick joke, but such is the world we live in. And now for this station agentification. So y'all, just as a reminder, well, for one, YouTube's a joke. For two, you all make this all possible.
Absolutely.
Right? So go check out TheTexasBoys.com.
Yep. And we just got all of our honey restocked today. So we got all of our 1 gallons restocked. We got all of the pumpkin spice honey restocked. We got our, what else?
All
James?
the sizes.
All the sizes are restocked.
Everything's
on there.
back in stock, y'all.
So all of the, all the 1 pounds, everything,
Load
22,
up now, y'all.
22 ounces, everything is restocked, ready to go. And
20 orders got shipped today.
Yep. Whoa,
dude, that was cool, man. It looked like you were on some of that mushroom blend, native mud.
Oh, man. So, and just wanted to say big thank you to everyone that's already ordered. We had several orders come in today, and that was just a big blessing.
We appreciate it, especially now that
we've been kicked off.
Yeah, we just, obviously we get a lot less views. We put together the website to monetize so that we can do what we do. And, when the views go down, obviously the website purchases go down.
Yes,
so.
James is over there working on my house plans. So
Yeah, James is designing Matt's house.
yep,
so.
floor plan. But anyway, y'all.
Carlos says hi, James.
Yes.
Glad to see Carlos on tonight. I wasn't
I
sure
know.
if he knew we were banished to the backup channle.
Oh man.
But that's it, y'all. We just
That's
wanted to
it.
bring you that article.
And I think just wanted to tell y'all real quick. We're thinking about going live at around 7 every.
We'd like to do this every
weekday.
Yeah, we'd
every
like to do this every weekday.
And even when we get back on the main YouTube channel, we'll be going live every weekday.
And we'll always multi-stream to Rumble.
Yeah, exactly.
So if you're watching on YouTube, join our Rumble channel. They've yet to censor us. Not saying that it's not possible. And then we are going to be having some guests. I'm pretty sure we're going to have Allison Morrow on to talk about something very interesting.
Yeah, very interesting.
And then I have a couple other.
Ooh, and I think we'll actually be,
back on.
just be getting
Possibly,
back on there.
or we might have to
Possibly.
record that and then post it. We might not be able to do it live, but
I don't know.
whatever.
We'll see.
And then we got some other interviews lined out. It's going to be good, so stay tuned. And we just appreciate and love y'all. And y'all have an awesome night.
All right. See y'all later.
See y'all.